Had to cut my way up out them trenches just to be specific. I had to get it how I live, now I just live to get it. Making history with them clippers cause it was written. Blessing essences with my presence because I'm gifted. Cut my way out. I had to cut my way out. Let's talk about it. Hey, let me tell you how I cut my way out. Watch me cut my way out. It's the coldest podcast in the game.
Back at it.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
What's up, bro?
What's going on? What's going on, you guys?
Man, not too much, man. Hanging in there, man. Honored and privileged, man, that you could jump on with us. Like I said, we appreciate Jay Blends, man, for throwing the oop, man. That's why I love this industry, man.
For sure.
What's up, S-Craft? Man,
Hey, S-Craft's in here. Well, that's crazy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, we got my boy done snuck to the Nas and Wu-Tang concert.
Oh, okay. I thought he was on the subway. I thought he was commuting home.
I didn't know where he was. Usually I'm used to seeing the same backdrop. And and he was different backdrop. Thank you, baby. Yeah. Yeah, man. Man, so we gonna get it cracking. You good, Shy?
I'm just trying to get somewhere quiet. I bet I'm in this thing. What's the game? What's going on, good people? You know we gonna find a way. If it's a will, it's a way.
Hey,
That's right.
Hey, that boy done snuck to the bat cave.
Look, I couldn't miss it. Couldn't miss it. What's going on?
Let's go.
Yeah, man. So, man, for everybody, this is the I Cut My Way Out podcast, man. We have Barber June, man. Barber, man, content creator extraordinaire, man. Been watching you, man. Got a chance to see you out in Connecticut. Really didn't get to, get in and talk. You had a lot going on, man. So, people watching that content, man, showing love. So, man, it's a privilege to get you on, man. So, without further ado, man, we have Barber June, man. Let's get it cracking. Tell us a little bit about you and your background. Just fill us in a little bit.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say thank you to you guys for allowing me to be on your guys' platform. I never take it lightly when somebody asks me to be on a platform or to do anything, man. I find it as a privilege and an honor, and I'm very thankful. Humbled. I'm very humble, man. So I just want to say thank you to you guys, man, for real.
We appreciate it, man, and same for us, man. We just trying to make this thing move, man. One interview at a time, man. We love what we do. We provided this platform to celebrate, the barber culture, the wins, give our flowers, man, and just bring everybody together. We find a lot of negativity in our fraternity sometimes, man. And so we just doing positive, man. So again, man, we thank you for being on.
For sure. Right on, man. So a little about me, man. My name is Junior Garcia. I go by Barber June on Instagram. I've been a barber for 10 years, going on 11 years. Man, I grew up in the Bay Area, born and raised in the Bay, right outside of Oakland, San Francisco, a small town. It was a small town, but it's a little bit small city now. It's about like 175,000, 150,000 people there. Pittsburgh, California, 925, man. So I just recently moved to from out of the Bay Area to Arizona. And so now I'm in Arizona, man. I've been here for 2 years, and I've been a barber for 10, going on 11 years, man, and I love the barber industry. I love being a barber.
That's what's up.
So what's the barber culture out like that? I've always wondered what the culture was like in a place like Arizona, be it that y'all don't even have regular buildings for your schools, right? The kids got to go to the schools that's specially made for ventilation and all kind of stuff. So what's a barbershop atmosphere like out there?
Oh, man, it's a traditional barber atmosphere. I feel like it's coming from the Bay Area and then coming out here. I just feel like the barbering game is a little behind out here. But it's changing though. I'm not saying that it's super behind, outdated. It's just a little different. It's a little different. Another thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Another thing that may be a little different is it's a lot of commission shops out here. There's not a lot of booth rent. That's another difference. Another thing that I've noticed with people from Arizona, barbers in general, is they use a lot of clipper over combs, right? And so, yeah, man, that's the only difference really I've seen. But mostly it's the same. It's the same.
Okay. So my mother actually, man, lives in Arizona. She lives in Mesa.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
That's 20 minutes from me.
Yes.
20, 30 minutes.
Where are you at?
I'm in Queen Creek.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with Queen Creek, and it's so crazy because originally I went back to school to get my degree because my wife and I were planning on moving out there. This was even before my mother had moved out there, and then they beat us to the punch. And, you know, different things have taken place, and, you know, life is life. Life, as Shai would say, life be lifing. So yeah, I'm very familiar with it, man. Actually, I have my barber's license in the state of Arizona, bro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, real talk. The last time I was out there, my mother fell ill last year, man, and God has been good. And so things are going a lot better with that. But I've been out there looking for shops in the Mesa area and whatnot. And I actually have a good barber friend that is, she was in Chicago teaching, Stacy Wheeler, and ended up moving out there for a job working with the youth, I think maybe in the justice system, and then opened her barbershop out in Scottsdale, man. She's been out there about 2 years. So, man, maybe I have to put that together. You know what I'm saying?
Stacy Wheeler?
Yeah.
With the correctional office?
Yeah.
In Scottsdale?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know her. I don't.
No.
I'm just messing with you, man.
So no, I don't think.
He's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I just gave you all the information you gave me. Yeah.
I don't think she's in the corrections department in Scottsdale.
Okay.
I think actually in Phoenix, but opened up her shop and it's, I think, just a sweet. You got my son on here laughing like, yeah.
Yeah. You was all serious too. You're like, yeah, that's her. Yeah, he knows her. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to put y'all in tune, man. Cause
yeah, for sure.
Definitely a good person, but yeah, she's been out there like 2 or 3 years now.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
It's definitely an interesting place in terms of the barbering, man. I felt it was a little bit behind, but you also had a lot of people who weren't from Arizona that were out there opening barbershops from a plethora of locations.
Right,
so,
absolutely.
What took you out there from the Bay Area?
Oh man, tons of things, bro. A lot of things, man. Being I was wanting to open up my own shop being in California, and COVID happened.
Okay.
And COVID happened, and I've been wanting to leave California 5 years prior to that, but leaving California is so hard. You got family, you got roots, you got culture, you got everything that you know. You don't know anything else. You don't know about, out of state, just financially, politics, public schools. I'm a dad. I got 3 girls.
Okay.
It's just all my future, right? My future.
Right.
And it's for the amount of money that I was making in the Bay Area, I should be balling. I should be balling. Anywhere else, I'm balling. In California, I'm not balling.
Right.
I wasn't confident enough to tell my wife, say, baby, by this age, we could retire and we could move on. I tell people, I don't come for money.
Right.
I don't got nothing coming down the pipeline for me.
Right.
So everything that I'm doing, I'm building a legacy now. Now.
Absolutely.
Right. And so that means I have to move. That means I have to move.
Right.
But financially wasn't the biggest part. It was part of it, but it wasn't the biggest part. Them closing down for 2 years in California, man, I just can't live in a state, bro, where they have that much control over small business.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We can relate to that coming from back of better words, out the mud, where you had to, establish yourself, get established, but then you have to come to the mature realization that although I've established myself, my environment isn't conducive to my wants, my needs,
right,
for my family. I would love for you to speak, to dive more into that, because I think it's a lot of people who listen to these episodes who are currently in that state of being. And a lot of times, especially as barbers, one of the biggest fears you can have as a barber is knowing that it's time to move forward or move away from where you are, but not finding the confidence to do so. So talk to them for a minute about that.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
So for me, like we could have, financially we could have, right? But that means we would have had to scale back our life, our quality of living. That means my daughters couldn't play softball. That means we can't go on 2 vacations a week, right? That means we couldn't do a lot of stuff that we like to do. And I just feel like I don't work to live. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't work just to live, man. I want to live, and I want work to be sub. So I shouldn't have to cut back on my life and our living expenses just because I live in an area that I'm committed to. So, because I feel I strongly believe that my health, my mind, and my family life is top priority. My kids' health, my kids' mind, spiritually, mentally, is priority. And so all that has an effect in that as well, right? Even raising my kids in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the most horrible place, but it's a rough area. It's a rough area, right? For a family.
Right. So I have a question. And you know, this is why we created the whole platform. I Cut My Way Out. I was watching a reel you did, and you were interviewing Jay Majors. And you talked about how pretty much the barber industry as a whole, we come out
struggle.
from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We come from
not
the
all, not all, but most.
But most.
But most.
You know, you know, we come from lesser than, and we have to find our way out. And that was the whole premise behind I Cut My Way Out. Can you just speak to your background and what led you to barbering, and how it provided you an opportunity to you know, how you were able to cut your way out?
Yeah, man.
Coming.
So you know, growing up in the Bay Area, man, growing up in a poverty home, a poverty area, growing up a minority, a single parent. You know what I'm saying? We were on welfare. You know what I'm saying? So we know the struggle. You know what I'm saying? I know it was like going in with the food stamps. You having credit at the liquor store. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I know the struggle.
Right.
And so like, you know, and then working my way up, you know what I'm saying, to that, trying to figure out who I am, trying to figure out the direction that I wanted to go. You know, I tried I did welding, I did car washing, I did selling tickets, I worked at an after school program. I mean, I did everything. I was trying to find me, right? And I'm not only trying to find me, but I even try to find a career that I'm able to make money. So like to at least make $30,000 a year, $40,000 a year. And so, you know, I was making about like $30,000 a year working at the bank. I was going to school at night. Now I'm about 21, 22. Now I'm about like 23. Going to work 8 hours at the bank, then going to school for 2-3 hours at night, then to do homework on top of that. You know what I mean? I was trying to become a probation counselor, getting my AA, then transferring over to get my bachelor's degree at San Francisco State or Cal State East Bay. But it's just, I just didn't, for me to do all that work to get a job that's paying me $2 worth, it just didn't make sense, the ROI. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make sense just to make $2 more. And I was like, man, I need to be self-employed, man. I need to find something, a trade, something that I can go ahead and do, man. And I love the barber shop. I love the bar. I was in the barber, you know, shout out to Jerry, the barber over there in Antioch. He was my barber for 10 years, man. I was in there 2 times, once a week, every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So I was in the barber shop a lot. I loved it. I love the fresh cuts. And I just never thought I could be a barber because I didn't have the skills. Right. And so once I became a barber, it just changed my mind. I started making more money than I did at the bank. Right. And then once I hit 50K, I was just like, oh, there's more levels. So it's kind of like once you hit one level, you're like, okay, my next level is this level. And then once you hit that level, you're like, dang, there's a whole nother level. I can even make more. I can even do more. There's so much more opportunity. Right. And that's when I just started falling in love with this barbering. Like, man, barbering's changed my life. It changed the course. Not only that, let me just speak on this. Not only that, it gave me the confidence to know that I can leave a state and still make money. I could go anywhere in the world and I can make money.
I swear to God, I say it all the time. Barbers, estheticians, and stylists are some of the only people on the earth you can take them and put me anywhere, and I'm a six-figure person, bro. Anyway.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bro, like, so what gave me the confidence too, because I moved from out of where I was from, Pittsburgh, California. I was cutting in a barbershop in Oakley. I moved from Oakley to Vacaville. It's 45 minutes away. It's in a different county. It's still the Bay Area. Well, it's just outer greater Bay Area, but it's, you know, they like, that ain't the Bay, but anyways, it's right outside the Bay. You know how that is. Right. It's the Bay, fool. But anyways, I moved out. And actually, I started there, and I worked there for 4 years. And I built my clientele within like 6 months. I did it all over again, and I was making a lot of money there. And it was just like, I can do this. Right. Like, I've done it now. I moved to a different county. I did it. I know I can move to a different state, and I can do the same thing.
Okay.
So I want to ask you this, right? Coming from that bank job and the jobs that all the career paths that you pursued prior to barbering, right? How difficult was it for you, if at all, to learn how to manage that type of a financial difference in regards to what you were able to provide for your family?
I'm sorry. What was the question again?
Coming from those different backgrounds of working, how was it difficult for you to make that transition to managing more of a financial availability versus what you have $30,000 to $40,000 a year job?
So yeah, man. My first year barber, I made $17,000. Made $17,000, and thank God my mom helped me out because I had a mortgage. I was a newlywed. I've been married for like 2 years, so I went from $30,000 to $17,000 my first year in barbering, and I made just enough to make my mortgage and just enough to make the bills meet, right? My wife was pregnant. So when I became a barber, my daughter was just born. She's 10 now, almost 11. And we were struggling, but that's when we would go to my mom's house. We go eat dinner over there, go to my in-laws' house, go steal their toilet paper, go steal their paper from the printing, you know what I'm saying? Go borrow their DVDs, you know what I'm saying? Wash our clothes over there. But I just knew that I just knew that it was limitless. I just needed to grind. I just needed to put in that work.
Right. So with Arizona being as big as it is, how were you, what made you choose Queen Creek? And how has that transition been for you? So
when we first moved out to Arizona, man, we were looking on the West Valley, Surprise. It's closer to California. It's on the other side of Phoenix. It's on the east side of Phoenix. I'm sorry. It's on the west side of the Phoenix. We live on the east side. So when we first heard about Phoenix, we were just focusing on the west side, just because it's closer and that's all we heard. So what we did was I told my wife we're going to do 2 vacations. We're not going to do no vacations, but the 2 vacations that we are going to do, we're going to go to Arizona for a week, and then we're going to go to Texas for a week, because Texas was the other state that I wanted to move to. And so I said we're going to take 2 vacations, and then we're going to do that. So we went to Arizona for 9 days. And we just stayed in Glendale. We got an Airbnb, and we acted as if we lived there. So that means we went shopping, drove around the schools, we drove around the houses, and we visited different cities each day. So one day we were in Scottsdale, Mesa, Chandler, Gilbert, Queen Creek, and we just really fell in love with the East Valley. It reminded us of the East Bay in the Bay Area. It reminded us of Brentwood and stuff like that. And so we felt at home, and it's really nice. And so we were like, man, this is it. We don't even need to go to Texas no more. Like, this is it. It's close to home. It's 13-hour car drive. It's a hour plane ride. Arizona's where it's at. Cheap property taxes. You see, cheap income, state taxes. You know, the right to carry. You know what I mean? They believe in your rights there. So Arizona, man, is where we landed.
Okay. And how was the adjustment? In terms of cutting hair, did you already have a big enough following, or was it like any other barber just trying to figure out, you know, just taking those walk-ins and building yourself up?
So the first shop that I went to, I was only there for 1 month. 1 month. And the only reason why, because I don't know if he listens, whatever, I don't care. So before I even get there, I was like, hey bro, check it out. I was like, man, I'm from the Bay Area. I cut hair. You can see all my pictures of my haircuts. I said, I'm looking for a shop. And he's like, yeah, you know, get a shop. I said, there's only 2 things that I ask, man. I said, I'm going to respect your shop. Whatever your rules are, I believe that if you have rules, I should follow those rules. and I also don't feel like you should change your rules because I'm there. So whatever your rules are, I want to apply to them and I want to uphold them, right? I said I also want to respect your shop, but I said, but I bring value to the shop as well. I know what I can do, and I know how I conduct myself. I treat everybody's shop the way as if I wanted my shop treated, right? So it's not my shop, but I want to go ahead and represent your shop. This is my home. Absolutely. This is where I'm making money. So why wouldn't I want to uplift this shop?
Absolutely.
I said, just don't. Number one, I'm a grown man. I said, you're not going to belittle me. No one's, you know what I'm saying? I just talk to me with respect. Right. I talk to you with respect.
No doubt.
And the second thing is, let me just control my books. I want to control my books. I'm a dad. So if I want to come in, if I want to take off, you know what I mean, on a Wednesday at 12 to go to my daughter's parent-teacher conference, I like doing that. I like doing that. Okay, yeah, I'm not in the shop, but I'm still at my daughter's. I want to make sure that I'm there with her teacher to see how my daughter's doing in class.
Absolutely.
If my daughter has a game on Saturday, I'm going to take that. I want just control of my books.
Absolutely.
And the reason I'm asking that is because I know the type of work that I put in. It's not that I'm just going to be sitting around. I just want to make sure that I can schedule time off. That's the only thing. So he's like, yeah. And so, go ahead, brother.
I said, that's fair. That's not an unreasonable ask at all.
Right? That isn't. And so, and it's commission based, and I didn't like commission, but every shop out here is commission. Every shop. You have to drive at least 45 minutes to the next nearest non-commission shop.
Yeah, I had found one in Mesa.
Yeah, see? And so I was there for 1 month, and I outperformed a lot of his barbers, every barber. They're only doing 10, 12 cuts a day, and I do 15 cuts a day on an average. Okay. On an average, I do 15 cuts a day. I was killing. I was knocking them out 17, 19, 20, 21, and I'm outperforming, right? And I'm showing him like, and these are good cuts. I'm getting reviews. People are coming back. I'm already building my clientele, and it's only been like a week, 2 weeks. Right. You know what I mean? Like, again, I've only been there 1 month, and then and I asked for time off, so I just moved out here, and so this is in October. I asked to take off Thanksgiving so I could fly back home to the Bay Area. He had a problem. He was micromanaging. It was just tons and tons of stuff, man. So where I was just like, you know what, bro? Like, I'm done, man. You shouldn't change your shop just based on me, and it's best for me just to leave before it gets out of control. Before, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't let me control my books, and I had to ask for time off where it was just like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously it's not working out, you know what I'm saying? And let me just go ahead and let me just depart ways now.
Right. Okay.
It's not a lot of barbers like you, like
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just like Barber _ Marky said, that style of barbering it's becoming a lost art in barber, man. It's not a lot of guys that want to put their nose to the grindstone like that. Right. And kind of push. And to me, what you asked wasn't unrealistic.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I'm gonna come in, one, I'm already agreeing to commission. I don't agree with it, but I'm gonna agree with it for your rule. But at least let me dictate my time. Like I'm already outperforming your barbers. Let me control if I want to go spend time with my family, I really don't feel like I should have to ask you nothing. I'm gonna go spend time with my family. But out of your structure, I'm gonna ask you.
It's the principle.
It is. It really is, because I feel like a grown man should understand that coming from another grown man.
Absolutely. That's what I stand on. That right there.
Right.
That right there, bro.
And it's the benefit also of the industry. You know what I mean? Yeah. That we can take a little of our time back to be there for our family and things that are important to us. You know what I'm saying? To create that equal balance.
Right. And check this out even too. Even when I quit, bro, because there was so much that was other stuff that was going on it was so much little things that aggravated me that I'm like, oh, heck no. Like one time I asked to leave early, you know what I'm saying? I've already done like 15, 16 cuts. I'm asking to get off at 6 because they get off at 7, 9 to 7. I think that's 9 hours, 9 or 10 hours, something right there. I'm not good at math. I just know increments of 5. You know what I'm saying? 5, 10, 15, 20. So don't be asking me these trivia questions. So we start at 9 and we get off at 7. I'm asking to leave an hour early so I can go to my daughter's, a little thing that they had. It's called a fair that they had at the school. But anyways, he's like, this is what he told me. He's like, if any of the other barbers ask, just tell them that you had to do something else. He wanted me to lie to the other barbers. And I'm like, I shouldn't have to lie.
Right.
So there was just tons of little things like that. But anyways, when I quit, I wanted to say this. When I quit, I gave him 2 weeks. I said, hey, man, I'm just letting you know, bro. Like, I'm out of here. I'm going to start looking for a different shop. But I wanted to give you 2 weeks just so you can find somebody else, man, because I'm just not going to dip on you. Because at the end of the day, it's my character that's on the line here. And I want to make sure anywhere that I go, my character's solid. And I stand on it.
Let me ask you a question. When you gave him that 2-week notice, as an owner, did he at least try to sit down with you and have a one-on-one conversation to get a?
He switched up. He switched up real quick.
Yeah.
Switched up. Like, oh, you could go, Junior. Like, it'll be 4 o'clock. You could go, Junior. I was like, fool, I don't want to go just because to go.
Right.
Like, I gotta go because I have things to do. Like, bro, you tripping. You got the game messed up, homie. Like, you obviously don't see what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not leaving just to leave, bro.
Right.
Like, I'm really, because I got things to do. Today's just a day that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, bro, I already see what you're doing. You already switched up already. Like, bro, I'm already knowing you're going to do this now. And a whole month later, you're going to go back to the same dude. It's like, nah, I'm cool. I'm already peeping what you putting down, bro.
No doubt.
I think a lot of guys don't pay attention to. I'm glad that you spoke on that and you brought that whole situation up, right? Because I don't think enough guys pay attention to the fact that where you are, the environment you're in, is always going to be representation of ownership. If you're in an environment and you see things that aren't necessarily right, pay attention to the owners, because a lot of times those things exist in their characteristics.
Absolutely.
You can use that information going into your next situation. If you want to know about an owner, ask the people who work with him.
Right.
If you want to know, meet him outside of his shop and pay attention to his characteristics, his demeanors, and things like that. And a lot of times it'll let you know. What did Tank say? Ask me about BWO. Well, I need to ask you, June. Talk to us about BWO again.
Oh, man, you know what it is, man. It's BWO. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, we going live with it, man. We trying to take over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Shout out to the BWO squad, Tank, Dre, you know, Jay Blends. You know, just us young barbers who are just trying to add value to the game, who's just trying to come out and elevate barbers. One thing that we all have in common is we just want to elevate people. We just want to elevate barbers. We want to help and inspire, and it's all positive. We all have that desire in us to help everybody. And so, man, we were just like, man, let's do something, man. Let's educate. Let's uplift up barbers. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No doubt.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming that means Barber's World Order.
Barber's World Order. That's right. That's right.
They got it, man.
Yeah. So, as we pivot, so you've grown. One of the things in your bio that you said is that you hadn't been doing content creation for a long time. You have a big following, man. You're funny as hell. What brought that along, man? What was
funny?
No, just,
I don't know.
The content creation, like, when did you know it was an avenue, it was a place for you to blow up in that light?
So, I'll tell you the truth, man, like, I've always wanted to do content. Always wanted to do content. This one said he ain't funny. He ain't that funny. Yeah? That boy Tate. But what I was going to say is I've always wanted to do content, and I've always tried, but when I did try, I felt like in the stage of life that I was at, it was just really hard, man. All my daughters were young. So, you know, when you have a young family, man, I can't be on the camera making jokes and funny while my wife's changing diapers. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like she's making dinner and my kids over here got choking on a Lego and I'm over here trying to do skits. You know, it just was not. It was not possible, man. And then having the house quiet. So now, anyways, a long story. My daughters are older now. They're all in school. They all go to bed early. I got the morning time, and then I also got the evening time to really start focusing on content. And also now I'm opening a shop, and so financially I'm doing good. And so now I know that I can go ahead and just start focusing on. Because in the beginning of my barbering, I was just so focused on making money, making money behind the chair. 15 cuts is the minimum. I'm taking all walk-ins. I'm eating everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting nothing to the side. I'm just grinding for a very long time. But now it's like I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm confident in that. I got this. I got this. Even if I do have a slow day, enjoy that slow day. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy that slow time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's okay to take time off, right? Because I was a big advocate of not taking no time off, just because I was afraid, because I'm self-employed.
Right.
And so it's just, I'm not getting, you know, but I'm just more confident in now. And just in my stage of life, I'm like, okay, so it's time now, you know what I'm saying, to start making content. I actually joined the 6-figure mentorship program with Chris Bazio, and that changed my perspective. It just blew my mind. It just blew my mind. A lot of the stuff that he was talking about in the mentorship, I agreed, but there was so much other stuff that I wasn't really aware of. And Chris Bazio inspired me so much, man. After I joined, because when you first sign up, they give you like this course, and you go through like this first module before you have your one-on-ones with him. But in his modules, there's a couple of videos that just super inspired me. And when I got off the Zoom call when I signed up, I said, today's the day that I'm gonna start making content. I'm gonna start making content today. Because he was talking about creating low-bearing fruit, how you can create low-bearing fruit, and how you can create income, you can create opportunities, you can create, like, there's tons of ways, and creating a platform is just one way.
Right.
And that's what he was talking about. And he was just talking about how he created YouTube, and he didn't even think he was going to blow up on YouTube. He was just trying to promote his barbershop.
Right.
And it just took him to another level where he had no idea. It just blew his mind. And so it was the same thing. I was like, well, let me go ahead and start making content. I always wanted to. I tried. It's just, it was very difficult. So I think now is the time. And it was, man. It was the time.
Right.
Okay.
I think that's dope, man. That speaks to a lot of guys. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about barber, man. It's so many stories like that in barber where people choose to put the energy into themselves, and they shock themselves.
Yes.
Become with this industry, bro. Like, I think that's fire.
So I just did an interview with Chris Bazio, and I didn't know this. He said, I saw June's content before he joined the mentorship program. But I didn't start making content until I joined his course. But when I joined his course, I didn't speak to him directly. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Alec was the guy who signed me up. When you sign up, they'll do an interview to see if you're a good fit. Not only if 245 is a good fit for you, but are you a good fit for 245? Because they're just not going to take anybody. Right? And so when I got off that call, that's when I was, they said, here's a video, here's this, let's get you set up. And that's when I was like, boom. And that was a month before. So that's why, before I had the one-on-one with Chris Bazio, he was like, bro, he saw my content before I even, and that's when he was like, bro, you need to be on YouTube. You need to go hard, bro, because you got it. You got it, bro. You need to go hard. And he was like, bro, are you on YouTube? And I'm like, no, I'm not on YouTube. He's like, you need to jump on YouTube. You need to jump on YouTube. You need to jump on those platforms. And he was just feeding me passion, feeding me game. You know what I'm saying? It was just, he just changed my way of thinking, man. It was dope. It's been all love.
And that was that push you needed to go forward, huh?
Not only the push, but also the validation. The validation, right? Like, damn, because a lot of it is like, damn, am I doing it? Am I supposed to be doing it? What am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I'm funny. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. I'm like, oh, I'm walking around like, oh, I'm the funniest dude. Oh, that's corny. You know what I'm saying? My whole life, people say you stupid, bro. Like, bro, you dumb, bro. You dumb.
One thing I know about funny people know they funny. That's cap, bro. That's cap.
Hey, you know what? I think I've like learned to know that I'm funny. It's one of those things that I never, growing up, never thought I was like the funniest guy. You know what I'm saying?
I can respect
but
that,
but where we're from in the Bay, bro, it everybody is funny.
Right.
You better be
funny.
You're gonna be the person everybody laughing at. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, exactly. You gotta learn how to come back. You gotta learn how to talk some smack. You have to. You know what I'm saying? You have to. So that's where it comes from.
So
yes, sir.
It is, bro. You think first and foremost, I want to apologize again for the background noise. My wife, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law decided, we coming out to the Wu-Tang concert, so I'm like, I bet I'm going. But when I tell you I'm knee deep in this, bro. I don't step away from work for nothing. Like, my mentality a little different, but we ain't even gonna talk about that. I just want to apologize for the noise. I just want to ask you this though: be it that you are so consistent and you are really motivating a lot of trends in the content creating space, are you seeing any negative trends in the content creating space that's kind of taking or dejecting from that lane of opportunity of what it can really become, because I do think that's a big window and a big lane for guys to be financially stable. And if it's
you will have to simplify that for me playing, bro. I'm a barber, bro. I'm like, oh shit, like what you asking? What you asking me, bro? Like, man, like it's like you trying to take advantage of me. You know what I'm saying? You like trying to bamboozle me.
So just like barbering, right? And barbering, we see a lot of trends that take away from barbering, right? You see a lot of guys that come in that didn't put down the foundational work. So when they start doing different stuff like enhancements or raises or changing prices, they don't have the foundational fundamentals to build on what they're doing. They just jumping right in the game off of their YouTube information, charging top dollar and calling themselves equals to the people who put down that foundation. I think the same can be said about the content creation space as it pertains to barbering, because guys like yourself, Tank, Cutflow, Bashio, Jeezy, y'all are guys that's put down foundations, and guys like yourself, I believe, are building on foundations that was put down, but you're not ignoring those baseline things that was already there. So my question to you is, are you seeing any trends in the content creation space? Because now everybody and their mama that got clippers is creating barbering content. Are you seeing any negative trends?
No, I haven't seen any negative trends in the content aspect. I think, you talked about the people jumping into the younger barbers who are jumping in, talking about, I know my value, I know my worth. I think that's a negative trend. I think that can be negative. I believe that you can charge that. There is a demographic for that. That's just, it's a very small percentage, right? You're going to struggle a lot, man. You're going to struggle. And it's even with making content. So here's the thing. I was just thinking about this today. It's interesting that you asked. People who are creating content, and they're trying to chase the lights and trying to be a gimmick. They're trying to try to do what's cool, right? But you could do what's cool, man. But just because you got a 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 followers, what kind of followers do you have? Are those clients? Are those people who are just looking at you to do because you do crazy stuff? You do gimmicks? Or are they real, authentic barbers? And I think all the names that you just mentioned, their following are barbers. You can look on there following, and you can see Jay Razor, Felipe B. Choppin. You could go on there. You're like, okay, these people who are following Tank, they're all barbers, right? Versus you go follow somebody who's doing gimmicks, and you can see who's following. They may have 30,000, but they got some dude from Bangladesh. You mean la da 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 ba da da. You know what I'm saying? They got some dude. You know what I'm saying? In North Korea. You know what I mean? Like you could just tell, bro. You could just tell.
Right.
And but I mean, hey, I don't even focus on the negativity. I don't know. I can care less what they doing. I'm staying in my lane, and there's no traffic in my lane, so I really don't know.
Right. And I think you're always going to have, I don't even know if I want to call them imposters. When people see things that are working, people are going to follow trends, and I think that's normal in so many, right? And the real, they're going to rise to the top, and I think that says a lot about you and the content that you're putting out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do you have a goal with your content? Like, was your involvement in the content creation game, was it started with a goal in mind, or was it just something that you wanted to do to pass time?
Yeah, so my goal was to actually create awareness for the new barbershop that I was opening.
Okay. I
wanted other barbers in the area to know that there is somebody in their area that will be opening a shop soon. Right? And somebody with character, somebody who's a stand-up dude, who's has values. And man, I just wanted them to be out there, so I just wanted to do that. And because my whole thing, my purpose on Instagram is to elevate barbers through humor and through education. So just as much as you see me actually being funny and being goofy, and there's a serious side to me. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the game for 10 years. I have something to say. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, man, I've watched some of your reels, and although I think you're funny as hell, there's times that you definitely drop some gems, and you're definitely another gem to our barbering industry and community.
Oh man, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So I'm in 10 years, you got something to say it. Shit, this is the platform for what?
Hey, bro, I've been saying it for 8 months, fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been saying it for 8 months. Like, I'm kind of tired right now. Nah, but you know, yeah. Just what I mean by that, I got something to say is that's why on my content and educate and the things that I do, the topics that I do touch on is I you know what I'm saying, I have an opinion, and you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna speak that opinion.
I wanted to ask Dre this before, but I forgot to ask him. Do you feel like your content creation is another form of outlet for those barbering experiences? Because a lot of what you talk about in your content, everybody that's a barber can relate to it, right?
Right.
Do you feel like that's a way to have an outlet instead of holding it all in? Because I'm one of them barbers. I'm guilty.
Right.
Yeah.
And I found myself squeezing somebody's head too tight at the top, and they be like, yo, I need to go have a drink because I'm doing too much. Like, I ain't got it.
Right. So I don't find it as an outlet, but I'm gonna drop a gem right here. My gem is that I understand that to go viral, you have to add value, and the only way you add value is you build that bridge. So whatever niche that you're in, you have to build that bridge from your content to the people who is consuming your content, and you do that by value, right? And so one way that I know people are going to share this piece of content is if they can relate to it. Right. So all the content that I have to create, they're going to have to relate to it. Okay. So I'm not going to do any piece of content just because it's cool or if it's a trend. Can I relate it to the barbering industry? If I can relate this content to the barber industry, I'm recording, I'm making a skit, I'm making a vlog, and I'm posting.
That's what's up.
I like that. I think that's a big thing. If nobody paid attention, go back and watch this on YouTube. You can find all the I Cut My Way Out podcast interviews on YouTube in their entirety. What you need to do is go back, watch this, find this part, clip it, and listen to it on repeat over and over and over and over again. And you squeak up on the next idea that you relatable. But also, just a real break in the whole segment. If you haven't clicked up top, click down, follow June, follow the I Cut My Way Out podcast, and turned on your post notifications. You just wasted the last 30-something minutes of your life because you're not up when we get back on and we dropping more jewels like this.
Absolutely.
Do y'all see that purple people eating in the middle of my fucking head? Anyway.
But yeah, man. So you know, if you're trying to make content, you got to find that build. You got to build that bridge. Right. You got to find a way for people to relate. And once people relate, they're gonna share it. They're gonna comment on it. They're gonna love it, and that's when it goes viral.
So I got a question. When did you know, after the advice and inspiration and validation from Basio and things of that nature, when was it that you knew that, man, I got something? When was it that you hit that point of putting out that content, you realized, like, I'm on to something?
Man, bro, tell you the truth, bro, I'm still on that journey right there. It's so unreal to me that I am where I'm at right now, man, that people are saying I'm an influencer. Even that word influencer, I'm like, bro, don't even say that, bro. Like, that's not even, like, bro, I'm June. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, just being sponsored to be at shows, to be guests.
You just got the award at BarberCon.
I just got the award at BarberCon. It's still unreal to me right now. So I'm only 9 months into this, almost a year.
Really?
You know what I mean? Well, 10 months now. Yeah, 10 months into this. So October, the end of October is going to be, you know, one whole year for me. So it's just so unreal, man. It's so unreal.
Hey, I knew you was on to something when I seen you interviewing Jay Majors. We was at Connecticut, and Jay Majors was walking around with armed security. So when you got through that to get an interview, I said he doing something.
Man, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I was also, so another real thing that I talked about is my insecurity, how I was afraid to go online because the internet's wild. I have one stretched out shirt and they gonna be on me. You know what I'm saying? I got a little pimple on there and they gonna be on you. And so the internet is wild. And so it's intimidating. It's scary. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to sound dumb. You don't want to sound, not only that, in front of, you know, your peers. And so insecurity played a factor in it. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to put all that aside, man. I'm going to go and put that to the side and just rock with it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just so unreal.
Success in complacency. There's no such thing. Success doesn't exist in complacency. Right. You have to be willing to move your feet and be uncomfortable, be unsure, be uncertain, face your fears. All those cliche things they say, that shit real. It's reality. You got to be willing to do it.
Right.
things to find success, because on the other side of those things is your success. But look, I'm gonna step out because it's finna get real mad loud, and I just heard somebody go on. So
Yep.
first and foremost, I want to thank you so much for taking your time out and coming on with us. I'm sorry that I couldn't have been in a better environment to be a little bit more engaged and a little bit more
Quiet.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Don't leave out the most important part, fool. I thought you was in county. I thought you was like locked up.
It do sound like
yellow background.
Real life.
Yeah.
Real life, bro. But like I said, I wasn't gonna miss this one. Like, I'm the type of person, bro. I don't like calling off. I don't like missing. If it's something
Thank
going,
you.
I'll figure out a way around it to make sure that I'm there for it. And this one, I wasn't gonna miss this one. So I appreciate you, bro. I hate to leave you like this, bro, but I gotta get out here.
We're gonna keep rolling, man. Do your thing, man.
Hey,
man.
Marcus Harvey out here too, so I'm finna lock in with him, bro, and we gonna holler and we gonna get some more stuff started. So y'all fellas have a good day, and I'll holler at y'all, man.
Man, you and the wife, man, y'all enjoy, man. You deserve it.
Appreciate that.
Yes,
bro.
sir. All right, we're gonna keep doing our thing.
Yeah, those stairs. It was those stairs for me too, bro. You know what I'm saying? That boy looked like he was in county. I'm like, bro, he snuck in himself to himself. Yeah.
All right. Hey, so so you talked about the goal of the content, right? You were opening a new barbershop. Tell us a little bit about the barbershop and how that content created your flow of traffic and your client base.
So I really, so me as a barber, the whole time I focus on clientele. And so that's why it was just nothing but haircuts. It's my portfolio, right? Instagram's my portfolio. I lived by that for many years. And it's just when it's like, okay, now I'm already booked up.
Right.
I moved to Arizona. I'm booked up. I'm not struggling with clientele. Okay. Now I'm going to open up a barbershop. Now, how can I get the attention of barbers in my area? How can I get their attention?
Right.
Oh, content. Oh, the area. Build a platform. Let me build a platform so I can create an awareness of a barbershop in my area. And so that's really what drove it. So now it's not, I no longer look for clientele. I'm just, how can I uplift the barbering industry, right? And it just evolved. So that was my first premise. And then once my videos started taking off, and then it was like, dang, okay, it's actually taking off. Like I'm hitting, 500,000 a mil. Like, dang, like I can't believe how many people are watching.
Right.
Then it was like, okay, what direction do I want? Do I want to just be known as the funny guy?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now my goal is already met. I've already contacted barbers. Barbers want to work. I already met my goal. So now what's the next step? Right. So let's go ahead and my next step is let's build this platform bigger than what I imagined to it. And so that's when I started hitting the ground even harder with the content, with the education, with the skits, with the, now starting the YouTube. It's just, I'm trying to build this platform. I got a lot of work left to do, but I'm building. So I'm in build mode.
Okay.
Right
now. So tell us a little bit about the barbershop, how many barbers exactly, what you got going on with
it. So, yeah, man. So right now we remodeled a whole brand new shop. It was got the lease going. So I have about 10 chairs.
Okay.
Right now I have about 7 chairs full, including me. So 6 barbers, including myself. I could have filled up the whole shop, but I want to get these guys established. I want to get them rocking and rolling before we bring in the other guys. And so once the shop starts creating a higher demand, then we'll go ahead and fill the other chairs. But I'm in no rush to fill the other chairs. But I just want to create a more of a get these guys rolling.
Okay. So with your experience going to Arizona and so many of the barbershops being commission based, did you do the same thing or did you go booth rent?
Booth rent. Yeah. So I would say this about commission based. Commission based, as a shop owner, you're gonna make way more money as a shop owner in commission. Right. You're not gonna make. You're gonna make some money on it as a booth rent, but you're not gonna make as much as a commission shop. Right. But I'm okay with that. I don't need to be in your pockets. Just like how I didn't like people being in my pockets, I don't want to be in your pockets. Right. And I want you, if you felt like you go ahead and got good and you balling and you're doing your thing now, and it's time for you to open up and get your own shop, I salute you, man. Go and do that. Right. Because my whole thing is I want to create a demand. Say 3 of my barbers leave. That's cool. I want to create a demand where I got 5 other barbers trying to fill those 3 spots.
Absolutely. And I think that's important kind of like sports, man, building, you know, you have that coaching tree, building that barber tree, because it says something about you in a position of leadership.
Right.
You know, so many people want to hang on the barbers, and that was my thing when I opened my shop. I said, if I can't maintain this by myself, then I don't want
right.
it. Right. And so I started to create other avenues, you know, of finances. So I'm not relying on the barbers to make sure I'm living good, that I'm driving good, and things of that nature. I want everybody to eat. You know, it's just like being in the streets. You know, if you're a lone, you know, head honcho and you're eating, sooner or later your empire is gonna fall if you're the owner.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so that I think that's important. That's big. Also, the next time you know, I haven't been out there a little over a year, so I'm due. I'm definitely coming out there.
You got to stop by. You got to stop by.
Yeah. Another thing, I noticed that, you know, you go to a lot of barber shows. Just for those who are, you know, following and they're watching, can you talk about how important it is to attend expos and trade shows, just for your craft?
Yeah, man, like I say this all the time. I've said this like a lot of times, if you in my vlogs and other people's vlogs, is that the hair shows, what's so valuable. So here's the thing: I've never competed before. I've never created a barber battle, right? But I have gone to hair shows because I love the networking aspect of it. The people who are at the shows are people who are doing it, or people who want to do it.
Absolutely.
And the people who are doing it, they're there with tons of knowledge.
Right.
Not only are they there with tons of knowledge, but they're there and they want to share the knowledge.
Absolutely.
And so when you go there and you're trying to gain and you're trying to level up, you're going to be around barbers who are doing it, who wants to share their knowledge, and they're going to give you free game.
Absolutely.
So the people who really want to level up, those are the ones who are going to these shows, and you're going to get inspired. You're going to be motivated. You're going to see other people doing it. You're going to be seeing dudes there with their camera vlogging everything, and you're going to be like, dang, I want to start vlogging.
Right.
I want to do this. And it's not that you're trying to copy them. No, you're just inspired. You're just like, bro, and it's just dope, you know, because if you're in this industry for a reason.
Absolutely. You know, going in, and that's one of the major things. You know, you have the ability to go to classes and things of that nature and learn techniques. But the big thing too is the ability to network.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing people and it's inspiring, and you're in an environment for 1, 2, 3 days with like-minded people who understand you and what you do on a daily basis, and are good and the bad, right?
Right.
And to me, that's just inspiring. And when went to the Connecticut, the CT Expo, it was off the chain. It was lit. It was super inspiring on so many levels. And just to show, because this era of barbering, I call it the golden era of barbering. Never been a time like this where we have shined like this in the barber industry, and you can make a living like this in the industry.
Great living.
You know what I mean? And a plethora of ways. You know, you don't have to be behind the chair. You can use your expertise in barbering and make money not standing behind the chair. And I think that's very evident in what it is that you're doing, man.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about that in regards to being able to kind of switch lanes and create revenue when you're not behind the chair, outside of just being a barbershop owner?
Yeah, man. There's tons of ways, you know. One of the ways, you know, I'm glad you said it was a golden era of barbering, because I feel that way, man. If there's a time for anybody to jump in the game that you can make a lot of money, not only make a lot of money, but you can make a platform. You can build a platform, a social media, right? You can create a brand. The time is now. The time is now. And I feel like barbering has been behind so much in our industry that there's so much potential. Like, think about it. Think about it. Think about it. For the last 10 years, right, we've just saw Babylus and Gamma.
Right.
Before that, all we saw was Wall and Andis.
And Oyster.
Or Oyster, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right, those 3 companies.
Right.
For the longest. So when I became a barber in 2013, OGs were talking about these are masters. My great granddaddy code these masters. You know, these Oscar 76ers, you ain't a real barber
Right.
unless you have these Oscar 76ers.
Yeah.
Like my great granddaddy covered these. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
it was nothing.
Yeah.
And then now another 10 years, only 2 more Clipper companies.
Right.
Come on now. Like we're behind.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? There's so much. What I'm saying is that there's so much more potential. We need more Chris Bazios, right? We need more Marvs. We need more of these bigger influencers who are Los Cut It, right? We need more. There's so much room for these guys, for more of these guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We need, there's so much room for the BWO. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, brother.
And that's the beautiful thing. And that was my thought when I created this platform. Like, for me, it's so crazy because so much of what you talked about in your bio, I worked in an after school. I actually, that was my first introduction to working with kids. Almost 15 years later, I came back. I went back to school. I got my degree, and I ended up being assistant director and then director of the after school. Man, I've been on the grind. I've done so many things trying to find my way, right?
Yeah.
And barbering was always a part of me. My uncle worked in a barbershop, right? And so I got my license in 2000, but I was still working in the school district because I didn't believe at that time, right, that having 6 kids and a wife, that you could take care of a family on a barber salary, because that was the light that was never shined on the game of barber. You know what I mean?
Right,
so
absolutely.
The timing has been right, man. I left that behind. My wife was like, man, look, you're not happy. You're dealing with anxiety and, depression, and, man, jump out here. You cut hair every day. You just do it, on a part-time basis. Man, jump. I support you in whatever you do. You've always, done your part taking care of the family. And when I did it, I went full throttle in 2018, even though I had been cutting hair for years. And I just feel like God put me in the perfect place at the perfect time, bro.
Right, absolutely, man. God take care of you. His timing is perfect.
Yeah.
His timing is perfect.
And going to shows, and like I said, at one time it wasn't as honorable to what do you do? I'm a barber. It's honorable. But now it took me a while to realize we're the plug, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is you do. You go on a date, you go to interview. Man, I got a distant cousin, man. The most, it's funny, but it ain't funny. He on his way to the penitentiary. So he comes by the shop, and, they've been, continuing his case, every week. But he comes in and get a haircut. I want to look good for my mug shot. You know what I'm saying? Like they need us for everything you do. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's honorable, man, and it's a pleasure to be a barber, man. And that was the reason.
So
you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely, bro. In 2010, I was it 2010? No, 2013. 2012 is when I got 2012 is when I started becoming a barber. But it wasn't cool to be a barber then. When I told my family that I was going to be a barber, because at this time haircuts were $20 in the Bay Area. So I can imagine living in the Valley or somewhere else, haircuts probably was like $5-10. But in the Bay Area, haircuts are $20. And in 2012, 2013, and my family was like, "You're going to be a barber?" And I'm like, well, think about it. Yeah, I go to the haircut. I know how important haircuts are because I go get my haircut once a week or sometimes 2 times a week. I'm not 2 times a week, but every 2 weeks. There is a demand for it. There's a demand for it. And yeah, man, it was people, it wasn't one of those things that people respected. It was like, you're going to be a barber? Like, really? Like, oh, okay. But now it's like, oh, when you tell people you're a barber, like, oh, you're a barber. Like, okay, you guys make money.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, like, mind your business. Mind your business. See it in my pockets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, this has been an absolute pleasure, man. I got a couple more questions. I don't want to keep you on all night, man. It's been a privilege, man. And you just dropping, jewels. And I love to see guys in this space, man. We've had some amazing barbers, content creators, entrepreneurs, all of that are part of our industry. And it's been absolutely amazing. And you're showing the serious side, and you're showing that you're much more than skits and jokes,
Right.
man. And I appreciate, you dropping a lot of gems on us, man. And so it's greatly appreciated. Before we get out of here, what would you tell young barbers that are coming into the game that are trying to reach heights such as yours overnight, not realizing that, you've put 10, 11 years into the game, and based on that, you transition and you're using the social media platform, but things don't happen overnight. What advice would you give?
Man, I would say it's like going to the pros. Everybody thinks they're good enough to go to the pros, but only 3% of the people who try out to go to the pros only make it. It's a small number for the amount of people who are trying. Are there going to be some people who are going to be is there going to be those individuals who do get the limelight and go viral overnight? Yeah, they are. But that's not the majority.
Right.
That's not the majority of us, right? And so my thing is, man, don't chase the lights. Right. Don't chase the lights. Don't chase the views. Don't chase the Instagram clout.
Right.
You know what I mean? Put in that work. Put in that grind. Get those reps in.
No doubt.
If you bring value, it'll come. It'll come. Right?
Yeah.
My whole purpose wasn't trying to get the lights. I didn't want to become famous or popular or as an influencer. I didn't want that. That wasn't my goal. My goal was to bring value, to educate and elevate barbers through humor. That's it, and education. And it just caught fire.
Right. Also, what would you tell young barbers coming straight out of barber school that are viewing, the social media platforms, and we're talking about all these crazy prices? You may mention, the cost of haircuts, $100. What would you tell young barbers that are entering the game as barbers? And, again, they're amused and they're inspired by what they see, where that top 3%, like you said, may get that same way, content creation, same as far as premium pricing.
Yeah, man, I ain't telling them nothing. I ain't saying nothing to them because they ain't gonna listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be wasting my energy. I'm not gonna tell you nothing. But people who are asking, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be transparent. Right. And I'm be like, man, that's cool and all, bro, but you're gonna have a long road ahead of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is the only way that I know how to do is you put in the reps, you put in the work, you put in the grind, you create a demand. Once you create a demand of people coming in, flooding your chair, then you raise your prices. I tell people all the time as young barbers, if you're coming out of barber school and you don't have clientele, give haircuts away for free.
No doubt.
Give it away.
No doubt.
Away for free. You need to get those reps in. Once you get those reps in, then the skill comes. Once the skill comes, now you're confident enough to give a great service. Right. And that's how you're going to retain clients. Absolutely. That's it. But there's steps, there's levels to this.
Absolutely.
You're just not going to come in here and just start killing it. There are some people who are, but that's that's only 3%. That's only a small percentage.
Right.
Right.
Confused.
Right. So you got to put in that work, man. And so I really don't people who think they got it all the answers and they think they know what they're doing. Hey, right. Man, do you. Right. I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on what I got to do. Now, if somebody comes along and they want to ask for help and they're like, hey, man, I'm trying to do this. Bro, I want to be an open book and I want to share all the gems that I got, all the knowledge that I got, and I want to help you and develop you. Right. And so I'm not interested in the people who think they know everything. I'm more interested in, and people slide into my DMs all the time asking me questions, and I do my best to respond to each and every one of them, and I try to help people. But I'm also blunt too. I got a couple of these young guys that are in my DMs, and they're like, oh, I want to do this, and I go to their page, and I'm like, check it out, bro. You're talking about you want to be a barber, but I don't even see no haircuts on your page.
Right.
Bro.
That's a great point.
He said, they're in my highlights, and I'm like, bro, your highlight, who's going to the highlights?
That's a great point.
I was like, you need to cut at least, your goal should be cutting at least 5 heads, 3 to 5 heads a week, and you need to post those haircuts, 3 to 5 haircuts a week. That's, 15 cuts a month. You should be doing it. Oh, but I do, like, bro, I'm trying to tell you what you need to do. Number one, you're going to be getting better with your skills, and number two, you're building your portfolio.
Absolutely. Because when you see those pictures, you can see any flaws, and you can also see your improvement over a period of time. You can look, a year,
your progress.
Look back, and you can absolutely you see that progress.
You see that progress. right? And then people see that and they're like, oh, dang, you came a long way, right? But it's not cool, though.
Yeah.
They want to be cool. I don't know what to tell you.
Absolutely.
I'm just telling you how to do it.
And there's so many barbers, you know, that flood social media that it allows, you know, up and coming barbers, whether they're young or whether they're older barbers, just getting in the game, to think that it's so easy and everybody makes, you know, 6 figures. And you know, when I was at CT Expo, one of the things that stood out to me, and I don't know if you happen to be there, but Andy Authentic and the original Barbadol, Lachey, they were on stage doing a class, and they were talking about knowing our worth and pricing, and that's been a big thing. And it was off of the back end of the Jalen Rose comment about every haircut being a quality $100. And so he talked about all the things, you know, his whole thing was, we're worth this because of all the other things, not only the quality, but health insurance. We don't get that. We have to pay out, you know, life insurance, all these things, which I agree totally with. But he asked, he said, by a raise of hands, raise your hand if you have life insurance. And I looked to the right and I looked to the left. I didn't even look to the back. He said, well, by raise of hands, I only see about 20% of the people in here. And so I'm like, damn. Now, I'm a little bit older, so, you know, I've been through some life experiences. But we get on here and we ball so hard that everybody think it's easy, and we're not talking about what's important. So everybody got, you know, Gucci this and Louis Vuitton that and this and that, you know, but we don't have just
life insurance.
The most important things that are going to allow our loved ones to be comfortable and to being taken care of. I think those are lanes a lot of times that aren't talked about as much. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, I agree.
You know, so it's a front sometimes, and I'm not knocking barbers.
No, it's a front, bro.
But
it's a front.
You know, but we have to realize, you know, you got to get in there and you got to grind. It doesn't happen overnight. Absolutely.
I don't know if you saw my skit, the barber chain skit.
Which one?
What your barber's jewelry says about your barber?
No, I don't remember it right.
Okay, so there's a skit. Go check it out, man. It talks about barbers and the type of jewelry your barber wears. It will reveal the type of barber they are based on the jewelry that they wear.
Okay. And
at the end, I put, you know, I don't got no jewelry. You know what I'm saying? And I really mean that, because I really don't. All I got is my wedding ring. And the reason why I don't have no jewelry, and can I afford jewelry? I can. I can go ahead, right? And there's only 19 people in here, so I'm gonna be transparent. My wife has a 2012 minivan, Toyota Sienna, and I have a 2008 Honda Drizzline that I drive. I can afford a nicer car now. So I can afford, right? But I got bigger goals in mind.
Right.
But one thing that we talk about in the mentorship program, we talk about delay gratification. Delay gratification for the future, because we got bigger goals. We got bigger things. You know, we don't want no setbacks, right? And so that's the reasoning why, man. We're trying to implement delay gratification because we have bigger goals in mind, and that's what we're pursuing after. I'm not here to impress other barbers with my necklace. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But I'm not here to impress people with a Gucci bed or a Gucci.
Right.
But man, I have goals and I have a purpose, and man, we in that lane. That's where we're going.
That's what's up, man. And the native barber, Stacy, she actually just joined. She's the one I told you was out in Scottsdale.
Okay.
Doing her thing. So, Stacy, if you can hear us, Barber June is out in Queen Creek doing his thing. So, as we end this, Jay blends through the alley-oop. You know what I'm saying? You came on without second guessing. We greatly appreciate it. Now that you've been on the platform, give me your feedback.
About the platform?
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. I cut my way out. I feel like it resonates with a lot of barbers. Absolutely. And that's what we're all doing. We're trying to cut our way out. We're just trying to get better. You know what I'm saying? Like you saw that video that I had with Jay Majors. We come from the struggle. Um, and it's just I love it, man. The platform, what you guys are doing. You guys have some big names on this podcast. You
Absolutely.
guys have some big names. I think Wavy Kid Kev was on here too.
Yeah, we've had Wavy Kid Kev. We've had 360 Jeezy. We've had Mark Harvey. We've had Tank. We've had Jay. We've had S Craft.
S Craft, man. You guys had some heavy hitters.
Yeah, Filthy
heavy hitters, man.
Yeah, we had Smash on here, and we've had
Smash.
When we first started within the first 20, we weren't doing face to face. Somebody Spotify, you can catch us on all major podcast platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube page, and you can go back and watch all of the interviews in its entirety. We've had Yusuf Barber on here, man. We've had Chris Styles Barber out of Memphis. He's Penny Hardaway and Yo Gotti.
Okay.
Barber, man. We've Stacy has been on here. She cut me. We had she was the first, the only female barber in the bubble, the NBA bubble when the pandemic, and her and Miami barber. We had Kane's barber, and we've had we
crazy.
Yeah,
and I'm honored to be a part of that too. Right? I'm honored, man, to be a part of that group. That's crazy.
Greatly appreciated, man. We're just, pushing it, pushing the platform forward and doing it organically. We got some things to do on our end, and we know it'll continue growing because we're putting out, good interviews, good barbers with good gems, man. And this is motivation, and not just for barbers, because there are a lot of people who outside of the barbering industry that can take a lot of what we talk about and apply it to their everyday life, no matter what they're doing. We're cutting our way out. Somebody might be hammering their way out, you know what I mean, drawing their way, whatever they're doing. You know what I'm saying? It can provide inspiration.
Yeah, man. I got an idea for you, man. I don't know if you want to tell you now or if you want to go. You mean we could chop it up afterward at the end, man. I think I got an idea for you.
Definitely.
Because I love what you guys are doing, and I just love me and Cutflow Dre were just talking about it.
Okay.
How you guys, you guys need to leverage the time and the gems that people are dropping on your guys' platform, and utilize that to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? So
as soon as we get off here, let's conversate in the DM.
For sure. Let's do it. Yep.
Okay. Lastly, also we shout out to local brand barber. We had him on. We had Faded Culture on. Man, it goes on and on.
Man, it's crazy.
Yeah, we've had some guy. DJ. He's like I said earlier. He's been on here, and we've had Barbie Pink Barber, Cuts by Kenneman. It goes on and on, man.
I know, man. It's crazy.
Yep. So lastly, man, now that you've been on the platform and you know what the platform is about, it's a two-part question. Before you answer the second part, the first part, I got the second part. Who would you want to see on this platform? Thank you, Stacey. It means a lot. Who would you want to see on this platform? And if so, or whoever you name, not if so, but whoever you name, you have to do us a solid by helping us get that individual or those individuals on the platform.
Man, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Because actually, like, man, all my guys, they were already on here. Cutflow, Jay, Tank. I think what I would like to see on there who grew pretty fast is Beza. You know Beza from Texas?
I don't.
Beza.
Say one more time.
Beza.
Spell it for me.
Man, I really don't know. I always struggle. He probably gonna laugh, man, because I always jack up when I'm talking to Tank them about his Instagram. They're like, bro, you said his name mess up. But that's my guy, man. He's been doing content. He's the one who does the motivational in his car and in his shop.
Okay.
But I'll give you all his contact information, man. But yeah, he's from Texas too.
Ooh.
He grew his platform. He's about like up there, 19,000, 20,000. And he was just inspired and then he took off, man. And I like his is very motivational. It's very positive. It's very encouraging.
Okay.
Humble dude. It's just a solid cat, man. Solid cat. Is any of the other guys in here Tank or Jay Blends or Dre? You guys remember Beza?
Beza from Houston. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely, man. And shout out to Cutflow Dre, because he's been
Cutflow Dre, yeah.
He's been inspirational in what we're doing, man. Sometimes, like you
Brita
said,
Beza. That's it is. Brita Beza. Thanks, Juanito.
Okay.
My boy Juan. He said Brita Beza.
Okay. Brita Beza. Okay.
Yeah, I shoot. You know, he's a solid dude, man. He's a cool dude.
Okay, cool, man. And Cutflow has been one of those guys, man. Like you said, when you need that reassurance, man, and you know, you're kind of doubting what you're doing, man. He's been that guy.
Hey,
for you guys had something special. Him and Marcus Harvey, man, they have been really special in that area, man. So I want to give both of them a shout out. So
Cutflow reached out to me before. This is before I was probably like at 4,000, 5,000 followers.
Really?
And Cutflow was one of those guys that came out of nowhere when no one else was doing media, right? You had the older dudes like Papito Bless Hands, you had Los Cut It, you had all these other Vic Blends. Remember Vic?
Right, yeah.
Vic Blends, and also Vic from San Jose. Anyways, all of a sudden it died. There was no really big names, right? Then Dre comes out 2018, 2019, when he started ranting in front of the barbershop, and he blew up.
Right.
And so when I'm only at 5,000 followers, right, I'm starting to get a little buzz. Right. He slid in my DMs, and he was like, bro, he was like, they love you. Right. He goes, I don't know what it is. He's like, they love you. He said, they are going crazy over you, bro. Like, whatever you're doing, he says, you got to go hard. Right. You got to go hard because the people love you. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, it was just weird. It was just like, whoa, like he just take that same thing. He started sharing my stuff. He reached out. He just showed me my love. He gave my flowers. And it was those guys in the beginning, man, where that's where we had that community. It was no hate. Right. It was no hate. And so now I do that. Now I try to do that. When I see somebody who's actually trying to do content, I saw Blur Gotti in here. I don't know if Blur Gotti's still in here. But Blur Gotti, I saw him and I saw his content. And I did the same thing, man. And so I just reached out to Blur Gotti, and I was just like, man, you got it, man. You got to go hard with it, man. You got to go hard with it. And I just want to return that favor, the same thing those guys did for me, you know what I'm saying, and just reached out. Right. Because when people are making content, it's hard.
Right.
It's hard to sacrifice time. It's hard to actually you're a barber, you got a family, you got this, and then to make content on top of all that, it's hard. So when you see somebody making content, you respect it.
Absolutely.
And they're putting out content, you respect it. You got to respect it. That's why 360 Jeezy, you've got to respect 360 Jeezy. He puts in that work. It's a sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Right? It's because so those guys, everybody who's doing content, you've got to respect them because this is on top of barbering. Yeah. This is on top of family. This is on top. This is on top of a lot of stuff.
It is not it's not easy by any means, and that's one of the things it's kind of, you know, done it us to some degree, and we'll talk more about it. Is just trying to find that balance because it's so difficult. And that's what I admire barbers that are able to have the stick-to-itness just with the content creation. You know, have a good thing, it'll blow. And I'm positive that we have a great thing going here. We just got to continue to put in that work and grind, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. So anytime I see a young guy or someone who's putting in work and they're trying, I try to support them. I try to go in there, blow up the page, try to do as much as I could to inspire, man. So, yeah.
We greatly appreciate it, man, for everybody. This has been the I Cut My Way Out podcast, man, with Barber June. If you don't follow him, make sure you do, man.
Please.
Amazing interview. Again, also join us every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Every Wednesday, we do this consistently. Also follow us at iCutMyWayOut _pod and the YouTube channel, man. You can find everything in its entirety. This will be out in about a week, a little less than a week. By next Monday, we'll have this up and going. And man, we're just gonna keep pushing the culture forward, man. And again, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have you on here, my brother.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you, guys, man. For real, thank you. I feel honored to be here and being, man, thank you guys for real. I don't take it lightly.
Absolutely. Also, we want to thank your family, so tell them thanks for giving us an hour and a half of their time
right
as
on,
well, man.
And yeah, I will, man. That's the real MVP is my family, man. So
absolutely. So I'll hit you or shoot me a DM just with that advice, and I'll return as soon as you hit me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for real.
All right.
All right, brother.
All right. Greatly appreciate everybody. Have a nice night.
Thank you, everybody, man. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Hey.
And I'll be also, before you get off, man, because it's about wins here. Let the people know what's going on tomorrow, man, and what time you guys are going to be on, because we'll be tuning in for that as well.
Yeah, man, we going live, man. BWO, man, we going live. We're gonna go and inspire. We'll try to educate and help out and answer some questions. All four of us, and we just want to go and elevate. So tomorrow, it's going to be, I think the same time. I think it's 8 o'clock Central Time. I don't know all the detail, the timing exact, because they're in Texas, so they're 2 hours ahead of me.
Right.
Same thing with you guys. You guys are about 2 hours ahead of me, so I have to go on my app and I got to try to figure out the timing and time zones and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going down tomorrow night, man. We're going live.
Okay, that'll work, man. So I'll be tuned in, man. I got a lot going on tomorrow. I'm in a wedding, so I got rehearsal. So
it's all good.
I'm where I can, man. But
D Blends, what's up, man? That's another guy you need to go on there. Funny dude, D Blends. I know Rita Beza, D Blends, right there.
Okay.
And man, the first one to give out 2 nominees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
D Blends, cool dude, man. I've been following his content for a little bit, and super humble dude, super cool. We actually hung out at Las Vegas Barber Expo. D Blends is a solid cat, super humble dude. But Vita Breza and my boy D Blends, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. I'll be following those guys, hitting their DMs, and anybody interested, man, you watch our platform, hit us in DM, man, as well. Let's connect and make it happen, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Appreciate you, man.
You guys, let's go.
All right. Good night.